Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Podcast. I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is Phil Ranta, the Sports Outsider.
Yes, I am. I don't know much about sports, and I'm on a
Indeed
sports podcast.
You don't.
Episode 117. I still don't know anything about sports.
We've maintained this. I mean, it's actually a little impressive that you continue to know as little about sports as you do.
Willfully.
You
I
would've-
willfully stay ignorant.
Yeah, many people would have accidentally learned something about sports in the
I've
course
learned
of
a little
making
bit. I
this.
know that Tim Tebow's not as good as people say he is.
That's okay. You know what?
This sounds like a future bit. Is Phil lists the 10 things he's learned about sports
Yes.
in over 100 episodes on a sports podcast.
Yeah.
I bet that even if I tried my absolute hardest to say what I've learned on this sports podcast, it'd still be pretty pitiful.
I feel like there'd be
some things
10.
would probably be wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like out of 10, 2 or 3 would be wrong to borderline wrong.
Yeah, and some of them will be the equivalent of public interest stories, like ones that were cool for 1 week, but I remember the bit, and I'm like, that
Yeah.
was funny.
That wasn't really sports related, Phil.
Ah, we good though.
Chris Humphries no longer married to Kim Kardashian. That's Phil. It didn't count.
I do know that.
Yep.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update, unnecessary insult.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update, unnecessary insult.
Brought to you by...
Mentos, you jerk. Feel the rush in your mouth.
Okay, that was an aggressive Mentos drop.
It was a completely unnecessary insult.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what they did there.
Yeah.
LaShawn McCoy disses Tebow, semicolon, asserts talent of his son.
Wow.
LaShawn
At the
McCoy has
same
a son?
time? Is his son Tebow?
No.
It's all this gang stuff being directed at a family man.
No.
LaShawn
LaShawn
McCoy doesn't have a son?
McCoy was not the one with reputed gang ties. That was Deshaun Jackson.
Oh.
And you're racist.
Yeah. Well, there's
what's
Sean
more
in both of their
racist, Joel
first
Anderson?
names.
LaShawn McCoy, the Philadelphia Eagles running back.
That's right. Oh, same team, too. Okay? I feel like I'm in the clear on this one.
Nope.
Not at all. LaShawn McCoy, the Philadelphia Eagles running back, who has twice as many capital letters in his name than most people, was at baggage retrieval at an airport when he was approached by TMZ. The TMZ cameraman, because I think reporter would be a little too generous,
Sure.
asked McCoy some questions before getting to an extremely transparent attempt to give Americans some Tim Tebow news. So we thank him for that. He asked McCoy, who is the most talented player not currently on an NFL roster? So McCoy starts kind of like thinking to himself, and the cameraman, not reporter, goes, how about Tim Tebow?
Yeah.
You know, basically he's like, I need to drum up some Tim Tebow news.
Right.
I know people are searching Google News for Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
Got to give him that.
Or Yahoo News.
No,
Oh, okay.
absolutely not. So basically, to which McCoy responded, my son is 2. I'll take my son over Tim Tebow.
Hey. I don't know if that's an insult. I've never seen his 2-year-old son play. He might have a wicked arm.
No.
No?
Well, odds are his arm is better than Tim Tebow's.
Well, I think we would call arm strength a wash, to be fair.
Okay, yeah. But accuracy, I'm probably going to go with the 2-year-old.
So eventually McCoy settled on Vince Young and Chris Johnson as the 2 best players not in the roster, to which baby McCoy said, seriously, if I'm better than Tebow, you bet your ass I'm better than Vince Young.
Oh!
Now let's talk spit bubbles. Yeah, so it's just one of those things like, out of nowhere, Tim Tebow is doing sit-ups, hoping to get on an NFL team next year. It's just like, what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, out of nowhere, LaShawn McCoy just totally goes off on this guy.
In fairness, it's kind of on the TMZ cameraman. LaShawn McCoy, to me, could almost just be reacting to the cameraman being a jackass.
Yeah,
and
where's
being
the
like,
journalistic ethics in TMZ?
Yeah, it's
Like
almost
they
like they're
used to
not
have?
there.
I think that's actually under their masthead. Where are the journalistic ethics?
That's a good tagline.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update, unnecessary insult.
Tim Tebow, update, watch, update, unnecessary insult. Brought to you by...
Mentos, you're a dumb idiot. Feel the rush in your mouth.
Oh, I like that.
Like
That had
the
attitude.
Philly version, yeah.
That was good.
What do we have on the show today?
Well, we have an interview with the trainer of Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Oh, because he's coming out of retirement.
He's coming out of
Yeah.
retirement, going to be in the 2016 Olympics.
Well,
and
we don't know that for sure. He's making a push for it, right?
making a push for it, and Jean has assured us that he found Tim Tebow's trainer.
Yeah,
So-
Bryson Jones.
Bryson Jones,
Yeah.
Tim Tebow's trainer.
Great
I'm
name.
excited.
Yeah.
It's a very strong, like, trainery name. Like, you can imagine someone named Bryson Jones being like,
Yeah.
swim more laps.
And Bryce sounds a little Irish, doesn't it?
Nope.
no.
Hey, Phil, do we have a weird sportsman?
You're goddamn right we do.
All right, let's do some news.
Yeah. News on the Sports podcast with Jordan, Joel, and Phil.
News. New football helmet technology could save college athletes' brains.
Ooh.
That's good.
Will not save them from careers at Enterprise Rental Car.
That's bad.
yeah.
So obviously, concussions have been in the news and in the zeitgeist for a while as repeated concussions cause long-term health issues for older football players, neurological disorders,
That's
depression.
good.
No.
Oh, no, that's bad. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
no, memory loss,
we're going every
confusion,
other.
dementia, aggression, terrible things. As such, there's a decline among Pop Warner. That's a 9.5% drop the past couple years, and in USA Football, got a 6.7% drop in 2011 for ages 6 to 14. Helmet manufacturer Rydell has taken steps towards increasing player safety by creating a helmet that minimizes the impact of a vicious hit by diffusing the energy of the hit throughout the helmet and using sensors inside the helmet to alert the sideline of a possible concussion.
Whoa.
Danger, concussion, danger, concussion, danger,
And it's got
concussion.
little arms that grow out the side that wave back and forth like jelly.
Well, I feel like if it's that loud, it's really bad for the opposing team to hear, this player may have a concussion. This player may have a concussion. Like, I think we should target that guy when he comes back out in the field.
He's probably seeing a little blurry.
This is why in ice hockey they merely refer to them as upper body injury or lower body injury. Anything more specific, and they're going to go for it.
Rydell also wowed investors on a first quarter earnings call by announcing they were also getting into the MRI machine business, just to, quote, cover their bases. Rydell's newest helmet set to debut on college fields this fall is called Speed Flex. This past spring, about 30 teams across the country have been trying it out. However, in a case of intellectual triage, no SEC schools have been brought in to participate. It's basically the near-perfect parallel of disaster movie, asteroids about to hit Earth. We can only fit so many people on the spaceship.
Ooh.
If we can only save the brains of half the college athletes, I'm sorry, Florida State.
Oh,
you're
guys.
just not
Need to
going
look
to
out
make
for the
it.
future.
Vanderbilt's banging on the door on the outside of the spaceship.
I
A
can't
crusty general telling him, I'm
This
sorry.
is unfair.
I'm sorry, Vandy. You made your choice.
We're going to die out here.
You will now die with your brothers in the SEC. The college's
I would watch this movie, but
Sounds like that terrible
dramatic.
Matt Damon movie about the
Yeah.
flying city of Richies.
The college's reaction, as they've been trying them out, has been very positive in
Good.
terms of the company trying to solve the looming concussion problem. This, of course, depends on how you classify the concussion problem. For Roger Goodell, the problem isn't concussions causing long-term mental health issues, but the public's general awareness of concussions causing long-term mental health issues.
Sure.
Goodell plans to fight this, not with new helmet technology, but ball gags for scientists. This is something climate change deniers had discussed but had never implemented because, according to Goodell, they're pussies.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're doing some interesting research, actually, on whether or not neck strengthening exercises can reduce the number of concussions. Because concussions are caused, because your brain essentially hits the side of your skull
And gets bruised.
and gets bruised.
Yeesh.
Yeah,
It's bad
But
news.
So if I think it's like if your neck is stronger, maybe your head doesn't whip around so much during a violent hit, and therefore, it's inconclusive so far. But
I thought the whipping around was the good part, though, because you kind of go with the... I did that and got away from my microphone when I whipped my head to the side.
Right.
But, when it whips, it's like going... it's less clanging, right? It's
No.
It's like hitting a sponge rather than hitting a brick wall.
no,
I think that's what the helmet is trying to do, what you're talking about. But I think in
Right.
general, strengthening neck muscles probably isn't bad. I feel
Yeah.
like it can only lead to good.
Well, you might get jokes from nerds about Mr. No Neck over there, but I feel like that's well worth it if
Who's
you don't
Mr.
get
No?
concussed.
Am I Mr. No Neck?
No, you have a very prominent neck.
It's
I was
like-
gonna say
kinda
my
like a
neck is like
giraffe.
I've got a Brock Lesnar neck.
But if you've got the what was it the lats? If your lats
Yeah.
are really big, you wind
Yeah.
up with that
Like
look where it's-
Batista?
Yeah,
like Batista, like bat mitzvah.
However, Speed Flex is not a concussion-proof helmet.
Boo.
Thanks a lot, scientist.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy your ball gags.
Yeah.
What
What are they working on?
So the technology, it might prevent some concussions from happening and could ultimately give coaches and training staffs more information about the hits players take on the field. It's not going to stop football from being a violent sport. Ain't that right, Mr. Scientist? So we're sort of protecting college kids, I
Right.
guess.
Kind
Yeah.
of.
So
slowly but surely making football a not hideously dangerous game.
Yeah, like putting those emergency phones on campus every quarter of a mile. Kind of protecting them. The odds that something bad's going to happen right next to a phone, not great.
also, tag team sexual assaults. You know, you have a buddy by the phone.
Yeah,
You chase her to the phone.
right.
It's a gimme.
Or by the
I'm
rap
not
group
comfortable
tag
with
team.
the direction that this bit took.
Well, now that we're protecting college athletes, let's exploit them.
Good.
New study shows how much college athletes are worth.
Wow.
Ooh.
Spoiler, concussions accelerate depreciation.
I would like to buy your female volleyball team. How much are they worth?
Oh, actually not much. Not much.
I will
Something
purchase.
tells me that the pricing of the female volleyball team would follow a different trajectory than this one.
That's right. This report focuses on the money sports. A March survey was done by the National College Players Association, who clearly have an agenda. So they partnered with Drexel University on this, as paying their players would essentially bankrupt them.
Okay.
So you got, two teams teaming up here. The projected fair market value of the average college football player from 2011 to 2015 would be, drumroll please,
Ba 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 ba.
$178,000.
Ba-da-ba-ba.
The report notes that this excludes walk-ons who are essentially worthless.
Oh.
Right?
They made it onto the team.
Yeah, but they didn't hustle.
Yeah.
They walked onto the team. You
Oh,
know what
I
the
see.
coach is looking for?
Jog-ons.
Run-ons. That's what.
Oh, okay.
You know that was a Rich Rod thing, right?
Was it?
Yeah, because he was a walk-on at West Virginia, so when he was at Michigan, he increased the walk-on program and called them run-ons.
Really?
awesome.
Yeah, that's a buzzword.
I did not know that.
And Joel knows a lot about run-ons, especially sentences.
Hey, you make fun of me about a lot of shit, Phil. You will not make fun of me about grammar.
Oh,
projected
I'm sorry.
Projected fair market value of the average college basketball player. Cash register noise, please. $375,000.
Whoa,
Yeah, that makes sense.
that's more.
Well, it's because basketball teams have much fewer scholarships than football teams.
And fewer people
Oh, I was-
playing.
Yeah,
at
fewer
any
people
given
I was
time.
playing.
also thinking because, well, they might not have factored this in, but you get guys who can play in the NBA at like 18 and do so successfully.
Oh,
I feel like the NFL, generally speaking, like nobody's gonna be able to make it.
No, they're talking about
20.
just how much money they produce. Like here they did it.
Oh, based on revenue.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it was
okay.
calculated using revenue sharing percentages defined in the NFL and NBA CBAs and team revenues as reported by each school to the federal government.
So if I had been listening,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Johnny Football
yep.
would have been worth $547,000 from 2011 to 2012. Kansas Jayhawk forward Andrew Wiggins, more than $1.6 million.
Wow.
The revenue from college sports is huge. $10.6 billion was generated from college athletics in 2012, according to the NCAA. So the NCAA is feeling the heat. Okay.
Yeah.
Northwestern's actually going to vote on whether to unionize or not, April 25th. They're losing a PR battle when they see when people see coaches making millions of dollars on the backs of players who are often from disadvantaged backgrounds. What are they going to do about
Maybe
it?
not so much at Northwestern. But
Yeah, that's
generally
true.
Speaking, yes.
Generally speaking, yes. So what are they going to do about it?
I don't know.
NCAA expands meal allowances for college athletes.
That's nice of them.
Wow.
That's good.
These guys get it.
Yeah. Talk about like things that people are shocked that you aren't already doing for 500, Alex.
There was one thing that when I was in college one day, I ran out of meal credits on my card, and I didn't have any money, and I had to miss dinner and breakfast the next morning.
Yeah. Well, imagine if it were also against the rules for you to have a job.
Yeah, that would be bad. I would need to eat.
The proposal would allow D1 schools to provide unlimited meals and snacks to all athletes, including walk-ons.
Oh, who are worthless, as we've said before.
Yeah,
So this is a pretty big capitulation by the NCAA. They included walk-ons?
Yeah.
Talk about generous.
unlimited meals and snacks. This move occurred 8 days after UConn guard Shabazz Napier complained during the Final Four that sometimes he went to bed, quote, starving because he could not afford food.
Yeah.
These millennials, truly the me generation.
I found a loophole.
What's that?
Right? Popular football player on campus. Here's your breakfast. Have a warm plate of $160,000.
There could be some argument about the nutritional value of money.
Hey, it's all greens.
Previously, schools were allowed to offer unlimited meal.
Oof.
There's
That's only
no,
one.
actually, I'm kidding. It was actually
phew.
they had 3 meals per day or a stipend for those meals to scholarship athletes. In addition to more snacks and meals, the new rule would allow walk-ons to receive the same allowances as scholarship athletes and drink out of the same drinking fountains
That's nice.
on weekends.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Not-
Right.
not-
Can't let them have
We
carte
can't
blanche.
go crazy here. We are
Yeah.
talking about walk-ons, after all.
Right. So previously, in addition to the only 3 meals a day earlier, previously they were allowed to offer, there was a NCAA bylaw allowing schools to offer bagels, fruits, nuts to athletes, but according to an interpretation, spreads like cream cheese were prohibited.
Really?
The NCAA eliminated this interpretation last year after years of lobbying by Kraft CEO W. Anthony Werner.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a joke or the true story part?
They are the makers of Philadelphia cream cheese.
How come his last name isn't Kraft?
He's just the CEO. It's not a family company anymore, man.
weird.
Publicly traded.
Change
Yeah,
it.
don't the Crafts who own the Patriots have like nothing to do with the Crafts?
Yeah, no, that's
Food?
not. I think those are.
Which is weird. How is there more than one Kraft?
Do they have to do with arts and crafts?
Nope.
The idea that there
Not
was
even
the
that.
Kraft was even like an actual name. I was just like, wait, oh, that wasn't just like a clever thing that they named the cheese? Like, no.
Well, that's a load of Kraft.
So I think this move will really get the heat off the NCAA guys.
Oh yeah, I think this was the entire source of all criticism, if memory serves.
We've done some research, and it appears our services are worth thousands of dollars. Tell you what, how would you guys like some Nutri-Grain bars?
Yeah.
I'll take one.
This is like saying, "Hey, you owe me $10,000," and them saying, like, "How about a lollipop?"
Wait, unlimited lollipops.
You know what they're essentially doing here?
What?
They're turning the NCAA, their scholarship athletes, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet now.
Yeah.
You know how that works? When you see the price for an all-you-can-eat buffet, your immediate thought is, I need to eat more food wholesale than that dollar value there.
Right.
$10 all-you-can-eat buffet, I need to eat more than $10 worth of food to make sure that I'm a loss for the guy who owns it.
Right.
So now it sounds like these athletes, any football players, like over the course of the year, I need to eat $160,000 worth of food from that cafeteria.
Go to the crab legs first.
This is effectively a challenge being laid down by the NCAA to their athletes to frickin' gorge themselves.
Well, that's a load of Kraft.
Okay, joining us now on the show, we're very excited to have Michael Phelps's personal trainer, Bryson Jones.
Hey, it's great to be here.
It's great to have you,
It's
Bryson
good to-
Jones.
It's good to be
Absolutely.
here. Yeah.
Great to talk to the man who works with the
Yeah.
most decorated Olympic athlete
Every
in
day.
history.
I do have to
Every
say,
day
we
work
sent Phil out
together.
for burritos. You appear to have brought your own
Yeah.
frozen burritos with you.
I did. Do you have a microwave?
We do. It's in the
Do you
break
have
room.
room,
a
yeah.
microwave?
Of course we do. We
Yeah.
can do that later, though.
All right. So I shouldn't stand up and do it right now?
No,
no, we
we're-
are in the
We'll-
middle of an interview,
We'll
Bryson.
finish this then, and then I get to go get the burritos made.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Or you could wait for the freshly hand-rolled, like, made burrito that Phil
Michael
will be bringing
Phelps
back.
is a champion.
He is.
He's a champion.
So he's coming out of
arguably
retirement.
the greatest American athlete in history.
I would argue the greatest of all world and universe history. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So he's coming out of retirement. Obviously, he hasn't been training as much as he needs to
He's
be.
been training.
Oh, he has?
We've been working together every single day.
Well, like how?
Oh, wow.
What have you been doing?
What sort of
We've
stuff
been
has he
doing a lot of lung capacity drills.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of work with water.
Oh,
A lot
yep.
of
A lot
water
of
work.
a lot of water.
Wait,
work.
because he's a swimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just checks out.
We've been doing a whole lot of rolls.
Rolls.
Whole lot
Okay.
of rolls. And a whole
Is that
lot
some
of
sort of
licks.
calisthenic?
Like rotary
Licks,
breathing? Do you
licks.
mean rolling? Wait.
Yep. And
Yeah.
we're doing, most importantly, a whole lot of inhales.
Okay, good breathing. Well, and I guess
Good
since
breathing,
it's timed
yes.
specifically for a swimmer, it's
Yep.
probably going to be
Breathe
pretty
in,
important.
hold, breathe out. In
Yep,
with the
that's
good,
what you do.
out with the also good.
Okay, I've never heard it quite phrased that way. But
Yeah.
yeah, I guess if you're swimming, you have to time your breathing very specifically.
I'm
so you gotta
talking
hold it.
about marijuana.
What?
I'm sorry, what?
What? I've said I'm talking about marijuana.
No, we
We've
heard
been
you-
doing a lot of work in that field.
Wait.
we thought
He has
thought
the heart of a champion. It's 3 sizes larger than it's supposed to be.
Okay, I thought you said you were Michael Phelps' trainer.
Oh, I am. Trainer in weed.
Wait.
that doesn't even.
Michael
do
Phelps is
you
a
need a weed
marijuana
trainer?
trainer?
Yes,
What's a
you
weed
need
tra-
a weed trainer if you want to be a champion.
A champion
wanna
weed
be-
smoker?
Yeah, what did you think I was talking about? Swimming?
Yeah, everything you said up into marijuana could plausibly be linked to swimming.
Nope, let's roll it back a little bit. Oh, we joke. All right, first of all, we talked about breathing, right?
Yep, which is
As we talked
okay,
about
yep,
breathing,
all right, that is
right?
actually
So it's puff, puff, pass. I make sure that his puffs take nice deep breaths, fill the lungs, hold it, hold it, hold it. A little bit more, come on. Keep holding.
okay.
Keep holding. Don't you let it out yet. Don't you let it out yet. Keep holding. You're turning purple, but that's good. That means you're working. And 3, 2, 1, 0, -1. Exhale.
Okay.
Do you know how long that was?
How long?
That was a lot of seconds.
Yeah.
That was more than people
I
regularly-
imagine that was a
It
very
expands the lungs, and it allows you to take in all of the
Yeah,
THC.
but with all the smoke, it's probably bad for the lungs. Listen, I mean,
No,
Also, I mean, I
that's
I
not
worry
been
that
proven.
I mean when he's
legalize it.
when you're doing these, I would assume sometimes he's coughing when you're holding it in that long.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just the lungs saying, "Hey, I'm here and I'm ready."
it sounds like you're taking
That's the lungs talking to you,
sounds like you're taking one of the greatest athletes in American history and destroying
making him a champion. Yeah, I'm not destroying him.
Well, I mean,
He came to me.
the sort of healthy lungs that he has, if he's holding smoke in him for that long, you're going to destroy like his lung
That's why
capacity.
we
his
make
ability to
sure that
swim.
it's clean. Hence the water. We only
Oh,
train with water
okay,
bongs, all
yeah.
right? It purifies the smoke, and then when he breathes in, it's puff, puff, hold it, hold it.
We got this before.
Okay.
And really, it's not so
making
much
sure.
puff as
Right.
Yeah.
when it's
Well,
a bong,
I make
would
him
imagine.
puff twice. It's twice the work. He has to puff in twice.
All right.
Okay, but what about you said rolling and licking?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought those
geez,
were some sort of calisthenic.
This is the most
Joel.
obvious one we missed, Joel.
Yeah.
To be fair, this clearly seems to indicate rolling doobies.
He was yes. I make sure that they're absolutely watertight. Those doobs.
Okay.
They're water. There's no room for water to get in because they're such tight rolls.
Okay, but I can see you have a Twitter account.
I do.
Absolutely. It's at BryGuy57. We
Yep.
probably should have noticed with that one. But
Yep. That's me. I'm the bad guy.
Just yesterday, I see it says "Working the Butterfly" with Michael Phelps.
Yeah, we are working the butterfly.
So butterfly, I mean, that's a
a
swimming
swim
stroke.
move.
Yes, it is a swimming stroke, but more importantly, it's the name of my butterfly-shaped bong.
Oh Christ!
It's a beautiful monarch, just like Michael Phelps, who's the king.
So,
A gold medal and a weed smoking.
but if he's training for the Olympics,
Yes.
Yeah.
which he's about to start doing,
Yeah.
I imagine he's going to have to
He's gonna
pull
stop
back on
smoking
the
pot.
weed, right?
Yeah.
And meaning he'll be training now.
I've made some bad decisions
What do you
lately.
mean bad decisions?
All right. You know how when you have a job where you're making $60,000 a year, right?
I actually don't know.
Selling
about
weed to one guy.
that.
Right?
Oh.
And then all of a sudden they say, you know what? You're still my bro, Bry.
So when you
But-
describe yourself as Mike Phelps's trainer, you're really his dealer.
I don't like the word dealer.
You
because
don't
that
like
implies
the
that
word
we don't
dealer.
work. We put in work. We're not doing this for fun. He's got the lungs of a champion.
Sounds like you're not doing it for fun. It's work for you because you were selling marijuana to Michael Phelps. But for Michael Phelps, it sounds entirely recreational.
No. If it was recreational, we would be playing NBA 2K11 and sitting in front of the television.
Why would
but
you be
that's not
playing
why
a 3-year-old version of...
Because I can't afford the new one. Is that what you wanted to hear?
It's not what we wanted to hear. I
No.
agree. Dealer kind of has a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But I don't
what were you saying
know that you're
before?
truly a trainer.
Do you know how much the butterfly cost? $150,000.
That's an
I thought I could
absurd
pay
amount
that
of-
off in 5 years of being Michael Phelps's trainer. Now you know how much I'm making off Michael Phelps?
How much?
Like closer to $50,000 a year.
Oh my God, that sounds awful.
I budgeted an extra $10K a year.
Okay.
That's a car back in 1991.
It might be a Dodge Neon.
It might be.
Not anymore.
No. Times they are
So you're
changing,
saying-
like
you're saying-
Bob Dylan said.
you're saying that-
So eloquent. You guys listen to Dylan?
Yeah.
It speaks to me.
It's not surprising. So you're saying that you're a weed dealer with a single client,
I'm a weed trainer.
with a single client, and that
a single champion.
you have subsequently financially overextended yourself now that Phelps is going to go back to training. And
Essentially, I'm going bankrupt. Get your nomenclature right.
Okay, I gotcha. It's just why not have other clients?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of celebrities who enjoy marijuana. I'm
You
sure.
got names? You got numbers?
I don't know if I want to do that on air.
Come on, man.
I'm not sure how Michael Phelps feels about you talking about this in front of everyone.
Trainer, it's not. Look, love can go in a lot of directions, all right? I've got a one trainer guy. I can train other people. I could train 3 guys at once if I wanted to.
Uh-huh.
So I think basically, if you want to continue to be a trainer, maybe find some new clients or talk Phelps out of coming out of retirement.
I got an idea.
Don't suggest that, Jordan. Don't talk Michael Phelps into coming out of not coming out.
I got
of
an idea.
What's
all
your
right?
idea?
I got an
Bry
idea.
guy.
All right. Maybe you guys can break Michael Phelps' legs and arms.
No.
We are absolutely
Come
not
on,
doing
do it for his trainer.
I think I mentioned before that I think he might be the greatest American athlete in history. I'm actually excited that he's coming
All
out
right,
of
then
retirement.
let me use your microwave. We'll settle.
All right. You know what, Bry?
You can absolutely just try and if it pops or something, can you try and clean out the inside of
Yeah,
it? We
like
have
wrap
policy
a paper
at the-
towel around
yeah.
it.
All right, look, you guys have trained me in this burrito making, and I'm supposed to be the trainer here.
Pretty flippant with the word train here. I think you're just sort of throwing that one around a lot.
All right, I'm going to train myself to walk over to the microwave now.
Okay, thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
That was not what we thought it would be.
Not at all. Got to talk to Jean. Jean.
It's pronounced Gene, I think.
Whatever.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sportsman! Weird Sportsman.
Who's weird today?
This week's Weird Sportsman is a weird sportswoman.
Oh. Should we rebrand the second segment?
No.
Weird sports person.
No.
Seems
They're
like
all
there's-
sportsmen, even the women.
If you refer to mankind, you mean both men and women. Maybe this is like.
You mean humankind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week's weird sportswoman. Haha, I said it. Lillian Leitzel.
No idea who that is.
Really? You don't? You guys have known so many historically. You're like, well, I know who that. I know who
Up
Bobby
until
Knight
now,
is.
Well,
we've
you
known
did-
who
you
all
did-
of them were,
you
except
did-
for that hockey player. But then I remembered
the curler.
halfway through.
That's
and the
true.
curler.
But
The curler
prior
was
to
a
now,
no.
it was well-known weirdos.
Yes. Well, I didn't say whether or not they were obscure. I just said they were weird.
All right.
He's got a
who-
point.
Tell me about Lilith.
Lillian Leitzel,
Lillian Leitzel.
born January 2nd, 1892 in Breslau, Germany. I won't tell you when she died because that would be a spoiler. Was an acrobat and strong woman for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus.
Oh.
Yeah, strong woman, kind of like the things you'd see on ESPN now, real sports people.
Yeah.
People who are lifting barrels and tree trunks.
Yeah, back then they didn't have that. They had the circus. That's where the athletes performed.
Yeah.
That
The
is
circus.
that was one route to go if you were a
Very
muscle-bound
athletic,
person.
yeah.
Yeah, if you were a basketball player who was 7 feet tall back then, you wouldn't be a basketball player.
Well, why
Freak
not?
show.
You'd be in the freak show.
That's quite a step down from basketball.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, sure, it is.
Yeah.
Society has advanced a lot, Jordan, since the days
That's
of
true.
freak shows.
Leitzel was born as Leopoldina Alitza Pelikan in a family of circus performers.
Her last name was Pelican?
Pelikan.
So she was from a family of circus performers.
Yep.
Okay.
Her father was a Hungarian army officer and theater performer. Of course, that old slashy.
It's not a great time to be a Hungarian army officer.
No. Her mother was a Czech circus acrobat.
I don't know how situations were Czech circus acrobats at that time.
Should have minored in history or something.
Something like that.
She spent her childhood in Germany, where she lived with her maternal grandparents, not her parents. Although she had been well educated and been prepared to pursue a career as a concert pianist, she joined her mother's acrobatic circus group, the Limy Ladies.
Was that just her playing the saber dance over and over again?
I imagine her piano instructor just on the day that she tells her, well, you know, I could do that big performance at the hall, but really think about running away to the circus. Lillian, are you serious?
In 1910, she came to the United States with the circus troupe and performed with Barnum and Bailey. The group later dissolved and its members returned to Europe, but Leitzel continued to attempt to perform in the American vaudeville circuit. Vaudeville. Vaudeville. In South Bend, Indiana, she was seen by an agent of the Ringling Brothers who offered her a contract. Hey, sweetheart, why don't you come with our circus? Right?
I'm liking this one. All the old-timey characters that Phil's doing are great.
When Ringling and Barnum and Bailey merged, which that was a big merger.
Yeah, it was a circus powerhouse that they created.
Yeah, she became a huge star.
That was held up for
headline
5
performer.
years in DOJ antitrust stuff.
Oh, yeah. They had
Actually,
to get the Supreme
this would be
Court in on it.
before antitrust laws.
Oh,
so.
shoot, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's get into her act a little bit. Let's get
Okay.
into the sports here. Here we go.
What did old Lily do?
Leitzel's act included one-armed planges.
What are planges?
It's like spinning on your hand.
Oh,
okay.
like
Yep.
a one-handed handstand.
Yeah, but she momentarily dislocated her shoulder during each plange. She would.
Wait, what?
Yep.
So she could spin.
Yeah, so she could spin all the way around.
Oh, that's weird.
Pop, 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 pop. She would flip her body over her shoulder repeatedly, sometimes hundreds of times in a feat of endurance, encouraging the audience to count, each one in unison. Well, I'm going to count these. 1 I counted. Did you hear that? 2 is what I counted. Now 3.
Seems like you just get bored of the counting if she's doing it hundreds of times.
But to watch someone dislocate their shoulder over and over again.
214. 200 seriously, we're gonna leave.
Back then, there was no television or Game
Yeah,
Boy.
that's a good
What
point.
did they have to do? They count. They get together in a group and count
Yeah,
freaks.
they would have counted anyway, not at the circus.
Yeah.
As part of their post-evening conversation.
After dinner, let's try to count to 1,000. Oh, Papa, we have the most fun. She was best known for her flirty rapport with the audience.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like
that
there's
one
some
tennis girl.
subtext there.
I do know, yeah. If I'm out at like a bar and I'm just hanging out, but then I see a girl like dislocate her shoulder and start flipping her body over hundreds of times while she's spinning in her arm, I'm like, whoo.
Back then, flirting was a little different, too. It was just kind of like winking and knocking
Yeah.
your hip out to the side. Like
Pulling your
"Bing!"
dress up so your ankle was exposed.
Right, exactly. At only 4 feet 9 inches, she was also famous for her demanding personality and temper. Leitzel was the first performer in history to command her own private Pullman car, completely furnished with her own baby grand piano. Her quick temper was legendary. It was not uncommon to witness Leitzel cursing or slapping a roustabout who did not adjust her rigging exactly to her liking.
Well,
Oh, you roustabout, you didn't attach my rigging exactly to my liking. Slap, 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 slap. Further, Leitzel was known to fly off the handle and fire and rehire her personal maid, Mabel Cummings, several times a
poor
day.
woman.
Yeah, several times a day she'd fire and rehire. Oh, I'm sorry, I just have quite a temper on me. You're rehired. You're fired again. Get out of my personal
What a
Pullman
rough
car.
life for
Seems
Mabel.
like Lillian's voice changed a little.
Yep, she got older. In a sharp contrast, it was the same hot-tempered prima donna who was known to the children on the show as Auntie Leitzel, and who would hold birthday parties for her fellow performers in her private dressing tent. She's a badass with a heart of gold, like what all the ladies are looking for.
What a
Yeah.
complex character.
She's very complex.
Absolutely.
Although pursued by many wealthy suitors, of course, in the circus, why not?
Like I said.
She married a series of circus individuals and never had any children.
Oh.
She first married a minor circus stagehand, as we all do on our first marriage.
Starter circus marriage.
Then a sideshow manager, Clyde Ingalls.
Working her way up.
Yep.
And
note
then finally, the big one. The circus trapeze performer Alfredo Corando in 1928.
Fucking rock stars of the circus,
I
those
know.
guys.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. I mean, they're so like sexy up there, but you know what? Once you're actually married to an acrobat like that,
Yeah.
you begin to realize that God, it's just not the storybook wedding that you think it is when you marry a
The
circus
thrill
star.
is gone.
Yeah,
You thought
no.
you wanted it so much, then once you get it,
Yeah.
Speaking of storybook, accident and death. On February 13th, 1931, she fell to the ground from her rigging while performing in Copenhagen, Denmark.
This is why she yelled at people
That's
so much.
what I was thinking when I first read the article. It's like, they're like, oh, she had a quick temper because she yelled at people about the rigging.
No.
But it happened when the swivel that held the rope in place crystallized and snapped. So she should have been anal about her rigging. That's what killed her. Yep.
Probably the last thing she said. I told you.
Yeah, exactly. She was buried in Inglewood Park Cemetery in Inglewood, California. We could actually visit
Yeah,
her
we should
grave.
go visit, guys.
But in honor of her death, 27 years after her death, she was brought into the International Circus Hall of Fame. 1958. So happy
Did
ending.
not realize such a thing existed.
yeah, a little bit. I guess.
Where's the International Circus Hall of Fame located?
I will click on the article.
The only
that
thing
leads
about
to
that
Every
is
child's
it's like
heart.
it's
it's true.
the only thing that's like maybe not as happy about is you're right next to your plaque might be right next to a seal.
Yeah.
You know.
Peru, Indiana.
You said Peru, and for a second I was like, oh, and then you said Indiana. I was like, oh, hey.
And that brings an end to another Weird Sportsman!
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings to the close another sports
Sports.
podcast. But before we go, we're going to bring Bryce Jones back to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com.
Come on, just do the
You can tweet at us at sports3 podcast. That's at sports3 podcast.
don't stop. Finish chewing and then just continue. You can wait to eat your
You
burrito.
can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast in your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today and search Sports Podcast. You can find us on SoundCloud by going to soundcloud.com/sports3podcast. While you're there, please follow.
Just stop doing that.
You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodnet. While you're there, please subscribe. You can find us on iTunes by going to iTunes, downloading the app and searching Sports3 Space Podcast. It's Sports3
Sensible bites.
Podcast.
Sensible bites. Bryce.
We'll find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So,
We're
Bryce-
going to have to clean the microphone.
Yeah.
We're going to have to get like a...
So Bryce did opt not to eat the fresh burrito that Phil got for him?
That's correct.
Okay, I'm going to have that.
No,
I'm
go
just going to pop her and reheat it in the old microwave. Oh, God damn it! Bryce, did he leave?
He's gone, man.
Fucking frozen beans all over it. Fucking lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.